dig in then. So it's still early in July and our garden's growing really well. All the veg beds we've got in currently are still very full, other than a little bit of space in with the broccoli. But we were at the garden centre the other day and we bought a bunch more seeds because they had a couple of interesting ones and some stuff we haven't grown yet. And one of the seeds we got is actually going to be quite an interesting experiment. We bought giant pumpkin seeds, so we're going to see how big a pumpkin we can grow. Apparently they grow between 40 and 100 kilos. So we're going to see what we can do. Before we put them in the ground, we need to dig in a new veg bed so we've got space to plant them.
Remember the verbs are for something.
Oh,
But
I think a small tree.
Now we've got the new bed prepared and the rain has passed, we can actually start planting our new crops for July.
so we've laid everything out to get an idea of the best places for each of them. Put in a real mixture into the bed just because we've realised the beds we like the best are the ones that have the most variety. They're exciting.
Like these two.
Yeah.
These two are amazing.
These ones are great. And then because everything grows at a different rate, you've got a different thing that you can see how it's doing each time. It's so exciting. We'll tell you everything that's in that bed next week when we give a full garden update. But we're going to start with some custard whites, which when we picked them up, Kieran thought it was a pumpkin.
Look at this.
Abobora is
Look.
just a general name for squash.
Looks exactly like a pumpkin.
But it's a patty pan and we already have yellow patty pans growing. I don't yet know, although it looks like they're quite a big plant, how big they actually get. So they're going on a corner so that they've got a chance to grow out the way. I'm only going to put in one seed because we're actually having quite good luck with the warm weather on things germinating from seed at the minute, and I don't suddenly want 6. Good luck, little chap. Picked our first broccoli head the other week and remembered that we generally don't eat heads of broccoli, we eat Tenderstem broccoli. We've bought 3 different kinds. You can get a 45-day, a 60-day and a 90-day Tenderstem broccoli or turnip. Had no idea. So we're going to try the 45-day first, and if it works, we'll plant some more, because also the heads of broccoli took forever. It's a bit of an experiment just because it's been quite hot, whether they'll wilt as soon as the sun comes out when they start to germinate. If they work, we'll plant more. If not, we'll try them in a colder point of the year. I'm totally going to get too carried away here. My spacing is the same spacing as it is for everything, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. They're about a fist apart. So I'll carry on as I have because it's been working alright so far. I'll put a few into each of these.
How many's a few?
3 to 5. The seeds are quite small, you know. Next one that grows quite quickly and just has a fast turnaround is some radishes. Like many other things, we don't eat very many radishes, if any at all, but apparently they're quite easy to grow.
We would never really buy radish.
We'd never buy them.
But if we grow them, we'll eat them.
Oh, cute, they're pink. Last one there. Little radishes. That first radish is more of like you cut into it and it's 2 colours. This one's more of full red for excitement and variety. All of these take. We're in for a lot of radish. The next row through the middle is then going to be fava beans. So these should grow a bit more bushy. So when the neighbour gave some to us, they were delicious.
I've never eaten broad beans before, and the neighbour gave us like a kilo of them, and we ate them within like
3 days.
3 days. They were so nice.
They were delicious. And then we tried to do some in seed trays, all germinated, but then we got the greenhouse and
accidentally boiled them alive.
Boiled them. We'll see how they go. But they were delicious, so I would like lots. Kieran's dad is a big fan, so hopefully they'll be ready for them to come visit in September. They're going through the middle so that they can then create shade for these ones where it's hotter in the middle of the day, so that everybody's happy. Little favash. We have some peas growing already, and they're growing really well, but we've realised there is nowhere near enough for the number of peas that I like to eat.
We have enough peas growing that would suffice for like 1 meal.
We need to grow a lot more, and my sister's visiting this weekend, so she'll probably clear us out of what we've already grown, so I need to replenish the stock. We've got 2 different types, so this one is a slightly longer pod with little peas in it, and then the other one is a chunkier one with bigger peas in it. I don't know which one I prefer yet. I also don't know what ones are growing over there. I think it's the chunky ones. I'm going to make sure that we have plenty of both so we can test them. This side, if anyone wants to remember, should be the longer skinny ones, and then this side is the chunky ones. And then we'll put a trellis on the back of it, and then these peas will create a shadow for everything.
So it doesn't get scorched by the sun.
Hopefully the peas are okay with being the hero of this situation, but we've decided it's their destiny. The spacing of these is probably just less than a hand or fist apart.
Highly measurable.
My hand hasn't changed size since we started the process. All the tomatoes are 2 fists apart, and all the smaller vegetables are 1. And sometimes that works, and sometimes it really, really doesn't. I'm going to stop them there, because then that is a good chance going to be quite large. This is going to be amazing when they all grow. So one day Kieran just kind of took a bit of a notion that we were going to become pumpkin farmers suddenly.
They had a good selection of pumpkins in the garden centre. Good seeds.
So he walked over with 3 different kinds of pumpkins. This is the more traditional pumpkin. That's kind of the reason that this veg bed went in at all, was because he'd taken this notion to become a pumpkin farmer. So we watched a video the other week that said the best way to grow pumpkins, find out if this is true or not, is to make a mound and then you put kind of 2 or 3 seeds into each mound, see what happens. So this is the more traditional kind of pumpkin, the Muscade de Provence. Very French of me. Oui, oui. Grows kind of an average size. The big moment is the next pumpkin. This next pumpkin is an Atlantic giant, bigger than this kid. So these are supposed to grow to between 40 and 100 kilos. And once it starts to fruit, you just kind of leave one on and then get rid of any others so that it can fruit to be, or grow to be as big as possible. Our mission, 100 kilo pumpkin. Good luck, kids. Give us an at least 40 kilo pumpkin. I mean, if we can grow a 3 kilo courgette,
We can surely grow.
I think we can grow at least like a 20 kilo pumpkin. Many vegetables. Looks like nothing right now, but it's going to be excellent. We'll let you know how these turn out. We'll update you in a future garden video. By the time we give our July update, they might be little seedlings. Who knows? Anything is possible. You just believe.
As well as all those seeds, we also had a new fruit tree to plant. We bought it at the same time as like the cherry and the neshbra, but we hadn't actually put it in the ground. So here's how we planted the strawberry guava. Bad actually. He's still growing in the pot, so it can't be that bad. Jeez. Proper, just look at that root. How much is circle.
It's been in water for hours.
It's a really small pot for a... Can you see them circling?
Yeah.
They're quite big ones. You can just pull some, if we can get those out. I would say these are probably what the worst circling pot-bound roots that we've had of any of the trees. Although...
So small.
Yeah, it is a really small pot for... It's not a massive tree, but still, it's not really small. But it was only €3.50.
Yeah, same size pot as the raspberries were. For €2.50.
And they were no more than a couple of inches tall.
They were like 3 leaves.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't dying in the pot. It was just not really probably going to grow much more.
We watched a video last week where they talked about being rougher with roots than you think, and the plant will generally survive. If it wants to live, it'll live. The trouble right now is I just can't really get into it to be rough with it.
I mean, you pulled out a lot of them. That's way better.
Battering the leaves off the ground in the process.
It's probably worth saying that you wouldn't usually have to do this much to the roots for putting it in, but this one's particularly bad. The roots are really circling. They've kind of almost, some of them have almost circled the pot 3 times.
Drop it in there for a last soaking over a minute. So these roots here are the ones that were circling. Like, you see how long that is? It was basically just wrapped around and gone around the entire pot. So if we can spread them out as we put this in, it's almost definitely going to help it grow better. That's really good. Good digging.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching. We've got those new seeds in for July, and hopefully very soon we'll start to have some sprouts coming out of the ground. In the next few days we're going to be continuing work on the tiny house renovation, where we'll be taking out the floor and the floor beams. See you then. See you next week. Thanks for watching.